The chatter in the chow hall died the second Riley strutted past. Everybody knew the routine. She picked a new toy every week, broke it, and moved on. Today her stare locked on her, the silent one. No crew, no noise, just stillness. Too much stillness. Riley yanked a rolling trash barrel across the floor, metal screeching like a scream nobody dared answer. She parked it next to the woman's table, flashed that shark grin. "Welcome to the big table, baby girl." Then she flipped the whole damn thing. Stale oatmeal, sour milk, and cold coffee exploded across the tray and lap. Laughter detonated from every corner. The quiet inmate didn't flinch, didn't wipe her face, just sat there like the mess was weather. Then she lifted her eyes. Those weren't scared eyes. Those were counting eyes, measuring distance, memorizing faces, deciding the order. For the first time in years, Riley felt something cold crawl up her spine. She took half a step back without meaning to. She just poked the wrong damn woman. And before the sun went down tomorrow, the whole prison would know exactly why. Stick around to the end, because what this quiet inmate does next will flip everything you think you know about monsters. I'm Behind Bars Tales. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, drop your city or your cage in the comments. Let's dive in. The cinder block walls of Ironwood Women's Penitentiary had soaked up blood, screams, and broken dreams for decades, but they'd never seen anything like what was coming. Most women rolled in here already cracked, terrified, raging, or numb. Selena Carter stepped through processing with something worse than all three put together: perfect calm. 36 years old, deep brown skin that seemed to drink the fluorescent light instead of bouncing it back. Every move looked rehearsed 1,000 times in her head before her feet ever followed. The intake CO barely glanced up from his screen. Drug possession with intent. Another one. He stamped her file like she was nothing. If he'd looked closer, he might have caught it. The way her eyes swept corners without turning her head. The way her pulse stayed flat even with cuffs biting her wrists. The way her fingers stayed loose like she was waiting for a bus instead of starting an 18-month stretch. Before Ironwood, Selena had worn a lot of names. Runaway at 16. Ghost in places polite people pretend don't exist. Cleaner for clients who paid an untraceable cash to make problems disappear forever. Now she was just inmate, Shuck 827104. And the next year and a half was going to teach this prison what real violence looked like. Cell Block D ran on fear, and everybody knew who held the leash. Riley Queen Morrison, 6'2", peroxide blonde buzz cut, arms sleeved in ink that mapped every body she'd put in the infirmary. 4 years in on aggravated assault. But her real sentence was life as the block's unofficial warden. Her pack circled like hyenas. They decided who ate, who bled, who cried in the showers. Guards let it slide. Riley kept the peace the way a shotgun keeps the peace. Loud, messy, and effective. When word hit that fresh meat was coming to D-Block, Riley licked her lips. New girls were her favorite holiday. First time she saw Selena, quiet black woman, eyes down, mouth shut, moving like she wanted the walls to forget she was there. Riley damn near rubbed her hands together. Christmas came early. Selena's first 10 days were textbook. Spoke only when spoken to. Bed made with hospital corners. Watched everything. Looked like she watched nothing. She memorized guard shifts, camera blind spots, and, most important, Riley's habits. Her cellie, a jittery little white girl named Tina doing 6 months for theft, couldn't stop talking after lights out. "You ain't like the others," Tina whispered one night. "Most new fish either cry or front hard. You just waitin'." Selena stared at the underside of the top bunk, shadow striping the concrete. "Patience is a weapon most people never bother sharpening," she said, soft as smoke. Tina didn't sleep much after that. The chow hall was where crowns were kept or lost. Riley held court dead center, her crew feeding off her like ticks. Selena came in every morning, got her tray, found the emptiest table, and ate while the room mapped itself inside her head. Food was prison slop, runny eggs, cardboard toast, coffee that tasted like regret. She ate it like it was gourmet, because she'd eaten worse on rooftops in countries that don't officially exist. 2 weeks of nothing. Riley started twitching. Nobody stayed that calm that long unless they had a reason. And reasons like that? Either you recruited them or you buried them. The morning Riley made her move, the air felt thick, like right before a riot. Selena felt it the second she walked in. She grabbed her tray, scanned for exits, cataloged improvised weapons, tray edges, hot coffee, plastic forks that could gouge an eye. Riley rose from her throne like a movie villain, crew fanning out behind her. The room went graveyard quiet. Selena sat anyway, center of the floor, no wall at her back. If it was coming, let it come where she had room to dance. Riley took her sweet time walking over, letting every eye drink it in. She stopped at Selena's table, kicked the trash barrel again for drama. Trash, food, coffee, all over Selena's lap again. Riley leaned in. I said, welcome to my table. Selena looked at the mess, then up at Riley. Calm, curious. I heard you the first time, she said, voice smooth as oiled steel. Appreciate the hospitality. Riley blinked. That wasn't how this went. Selena reached into the slop, pulled out a soggy piece of toast, studied it like it was evidence, set it aside. Started separating garbage from breakfast with neat, patient fingers. Riley's smirk slipped. You think this funny? I think you want a reaction, Selena answered, still cleaning her tray. Question is why you need one so bad. A couple inmates actually gasped. Nobody talked to Riley like she was a misbehaving toddler. One of Riley's soldiers, a wiry chick called Blade, stepped up, cracking her neck. Riley waved her off. This one was personal now. Stand up, Riley growled. Selena finished her last bite, set the spoon down like she was at a 5-star restaurant, and stood. Riley towered over her. Didn't matter. Got something you need from me? Selena asked, polite as Sunday morning. Riley's face went purple. Yeah, I need you to learn who runs this. Sounds exhausting, Selena cut in soft. Keeping track of everybody's seat, everybody's tray, must wear you out. Snickers rippled. Riley heard them, felt her crown slipping. She swung, big looping haymaker with every pound of prison muscle behind it. Selena wasn't there anymore. Her left hand brushed Riley's wrist, gentle, almost kind, guiding the punch past her ear like redirecting traffic. Her right palm snapped forward, silent thunder into the soft spot under the ribs. Riley's lungs forgot how to work. 6'2" of terror folded like cheap lawn chair, hitting the floor on her knees, mouth gulping nothing. Dead silence. Then the whispers exploded into shouts, into pure chaos. Guards yelling, boots pounding. But too late. The queen was on her knees in oatmeal and shame. Selena looked down at her. I just wanted to eat in peace, she said, almost sad. Solitary was supposed to break you. Selena came out 3 days later looking rested. Word had spread like wildfire through every block, every prison in the state. The quiet one dropped Riley with one hit. Riley got shipped to medical and then quietly to another facility. Her crew scattered overnight. Selena walked to Chow the next week and the Red Sea parted. People she'd never spoken to gave her the nod lifers give lifers. But peace doesn't last in a cage. New faces showed up a week later. Hard faces. Maximum security transfers with dead eyes and hands that had ended people for money. Their leader went by Mama Graves. 50-something, arms road-mapped in faded gang tattoos, voice like gravel soaked in whiskey. They slid into Selena's table like they owned it. Heard you retired Queen Riley, Mama Graves rasped, smiling with brown teeth. Real clean work. Misunderstanding, Selena said. Mama laughed until she coughed. Girl, I've been doing this 30 years. I know a misunderstanding from a message, and you just sent a loud one. The whole chow hall watched, breath held. Mama leaned in. Thing is, talent like yours don't get to retire in here. People got problems need solving. Quiet like. You feel me? Selena set her spoon down. I'm not for hire anymore. Anymore, Mama repeated, tasting the word. So you admitting you used to be. Selena didn't answer. Didn't need to. Mama's hand clamped Selena's wrist. Mistake. Selena's fingers danced 3 pressure points on the forearm. Grip went dead. Mama's other hand flashed a shank from her sleeve, lightning fast. Selena flowed like water. Blade kissed air. Elbow shattered wrist bone. 3 taps to the neck and Mama Graves face planted into her own tray, out cold. The other 2 came together. First swung a sock full of batteries. Selena dropped, swept legs, table exploded. Second circled with a razor between knuckles, patient. "You gotta sleep sometime," she hissed. "Not today," Selena answered. Blade came low and vicious. Selena caught the wrist, twisted, razor clattered. Knee to solar plexus, palm to spine. Lights out. 3 bodies on the floor. 3 seconds. Guards swarmed. Batons, zip ties, shouting. Selena stood in the middle, breathing steady, orange jumpsuit torn, but no blood that was hers. Sergeant Alvarez, 20 years on the job, stared like he'd seen a ghost. "That wasn't a fight," he muttered to the captain later. "That was surgery." They threw her in the hole again. Max isolation this time. Didn't matter. By the time Selena walked out 30 days later, nobody in Ironwood met her eyes unless they had to. Not out of hate, out of respect. She finished her 18 months without another incident. Not because the crazies stopped coming, because after that day nobody left was crazy enough to try. Sometimes the most dangerous woman in the room is the one who never wanted the crown. And when you mistake her silence for weakness, you learn real quick that quiet isn't empty.